Hey everyone, welcome back, and let's draw this fire hydrant, which is kind of simple, but at the same time could also be very complex because of the perspective here. So this would be a good exercise, just for shading cylindrical shapes and learning a little bit more about perspective. Let me draw this first, and let me show you how you can draw something like this, and then we'll get on to shading. All right, so to draw this, I'm just gonna draw the top part here first and then drawing the rest. As opposed to drawing this major shape first, I'm just gonna start with this shape here. So I'm trying to draw the top surface right here. So that would be just an elliptical, and then on the sides, I'm a little bit tilted here. Okay. So on the sides, I'm gonna come straight down, which is this, and then again, this bottom here is gonna be the same as this curve right here. Okay. So once we have this, now I can draw on the top. So it's gonna be slightly thinner. Start right here. So in reality, there's gonna be another elliptical in here, a smaller one. Just try to envision the back. Just gonna draw in the dome shape here. So once you have this, you can erase this, or you can actually leave it. I'm just gonna erase it so that you guys can see a little bit better. So whenever you're drawing these kind of geometric shapes, especially for cylinders and things like that, it's really nice to draw the back of it too. Okay, and then on top. So the top here is a little bit flatter because of the perspective. Again, that is the trickiest part of this thing. Okay. And then let's continue down. So let's say from this point here, come straight down. So we're gonna continue this. And let's just go all the way down, since this is just one big shape here. And I'll stop right here then. And this part here is a little bit rounder. And again, as we come down here, see the perspective is changing, right? So I'm just gonna give this a little bit of lip here. Let's keep going down, one more. And now this part even smoother on the corners because we're seeing it more from the top. And then for this one, just try to follow. Yeah, this is tricky. See, you follow this, and then just go all the way back. So it's basically a big elliptical here like this. And then on the edges, right on the edge, straight down. And now we gave it a little bit more dimension. This one's a little bit off. So drawing things symmetrical is always tricky. This probably should be a little bit wider, but let's just leave it like that. I mean, I don't want to nitpick on the details too much. All right, and then in the center here, just one more circle. I'm just gonna draw that. And then again, the perspective, so a little bit lower here. And then the middle part here, the little nut. Yeah, these are the smaller details. I'm just gonna skip that for now. I'll just leave it like that for now. Let's draw in this shape here. Curve here is a little bit strange. Goes around like that. It's almost like a teardrop shape. And from here, just go out. And then there's a little bit perspective here, so it's curving this way. And how far this goes out, just kind of roughly compare it to the top here. So mine could probably go out a little bit more, but okay, we'll just leave it like that. And then let's just cap this off. And then right in the center, nut here. something like that. And let's see the details here. And this curvature is important because it's going to give this, it's going to emphasize this shape here. This is right on the surface. All right, so that's pretty much a fire hydrant, without the details. We're adding the details later. But let's get into shading of this, because that is my favorite part about drawing. So to move on from this line drawing, let's shade in the top here. I'm just gonna start from the top. Let's just do that. Just gonna have to loosen up a little bit, because normally these kind of line drawings are kind of dry, So here, and I'm just using a 2B pencil, so it won't be too dark. Here, line, and I'll just quickly draw this down here. Just look at the highlights, right? A little bit line there. Okay, so that's the top. Let's keep going. I can add in more stuff, but again, I want to kind of just keep going first before I go back and put in too much detail. So let's just shade in this shape. This one's pretty interesting. So line here, this block, you can almost mark it out like this. One block, the highlights right here. And let's just go for it. So this is red. If you turn it to black and white, it will be pretty dark. But we don't have to shade it that dark. You always have the option to, when you do these things, you always have the option to changing it. So this middle part here is the darkest. Just trying to save these little highlights right here. And then here again, right here. Okay, so that's overall one little shade. Now I can go in and let's emphasize it just a little bit more. So this would be like a second pass. Darker here, here. Again, this part here is the darkest because you have two lights coming from the side here. Looks like two soft boxes on the side. And you can tell from the highlights right there. 2 or 3. Okay, so that's the top. Let's keep going here. And these little details right here I might skip because it's a little bit too much. Well, let's see. Let me see. Top part here is gonna be darker. Now I'm seeing all these little things. This part's darker, this part's darker. The lightest part is right here, right here. So all this is slightly darker. Okay, and then let's come down here. So this shading here on this part will be similar to this, right? Because the only difference is this is rounded off. This is kind of like a one continuous cylinder. If you look at it on the side here. Again, more detail right here. I didn't even see that line at the beginning. Just trying to save the highlight. Different ways of doing it. You can shade it off first, and then you can always come back and erase out that line. But let's just keep going. So again, right here, darkest part, highlights here and here. So I'm looking at this when I'm shading, I'm trying to get rid of certain details. It's just like I'm trying to focus on the big shape first. And sometimes it is difficult because I'm seeing all these little details, right? Little bumps here and difference in the paint job. The corners are a little bit darker but I'm trying to ignore all those things so I can just focus on this shape. Let's see, so how's that? Okay, I think that looks okay. I'm checking the values, like this part here, this part, and then this part, right? So this is too light down here. So this and this should be similar. At least that's what I'm seeing. So again, drawing is all about just observation, being able to see certain things. So like here and here should be about the same. Okay, so that's the top. So when I'm shading here, this is something different I'm doing as opposed to cross-hatching. If you cross-hatch, you can do this, and then you can do this, right, to make it darker, and then cross-hatch here, and eventually this part down here is darker than this, and you have a nice gradation. Or you can just do this, just kind of do this too. Even though it's the same direction, you can still kind of get the same gradation. It looks slightly different, but I kind of like this way now as opposed to cross-hatching. But if cross-hatching is easy for you too, that'll be great. This thing, it seems like if you know the value from the get-go, this way is actually a little bit easier. That's what I'm finding out. And I think it's because I'm getting slightly better at seeing the values. So I'm able to sketch this way a little bit more. So you can experiment with it, whatever you feel comfortable with. I guess my point is the direction of the line actually doesn't matter as much. It's just the value. If you're able to put in the correct value, it's okay if you have lines like this going all over the place or just in one direction. It doesn't matter. Okay, so back to this. Let's see this part here, very dark, right? Now for this whole thing here, you could come in and let's just do this. Just give it one shade first because this is one continuous piece. Or, you can do like what I'm doing here. I'm just doing this top part first. And then whatever you have up here, you apply it down here. And I'm gonna skip this chain, by the way. It's just too much detail. So the only pitfall of doing this, as opposed to doing the overall shading first, is that if you get this wrong, then you might get this wrong, right? Because you're just copying from the top. But let's just keep going. So this part here is pretty bland. So cross-hatching them down here. I'm trying to focus everything here and not this little knob. So darkest in the middle. So the strokes I'm doing here is just this. Okay, or you can do this. If you do this, for me, it feels like it's easier to control as to doing this. Because you're working in smaller patches. Okay, so once I have this, now I can come in, just kind of refine it a little. Up here. Okay, since I'm here, let's draw in this shape. Let's show you this one right here. Nice and dark, the line. So the way I'm doing this is kind of like this. It's just small strokes. Or you can do this. Actually, no, don't do this. if you're gonna do one hard line, just make multiple lines like that. Don't go like this. This is a little bit too, it's gonna be all wobbly. Okay, so short strokes. And it's messy, right? But it's okay. It's just, concentrate on getting the values correct. Get used to just moving your hand, things like this. And over time, you'll realize you have a lot more hand control. Turning my pencil a little just to get a sharper edge. Just so I can hit that line there. So highlight. The darkest part is, there's a little bit of bounce light right here. Okay. So the darkest part is here. And then darker down here as well, just slightly. So right there you have a little bit of a bounce light, and that makes it more realistic because light's hitting this part here and it's bouncing back up here. Or from the floor. Either way, it's getting some light from the bottom. So now that I've drawn this, let's continue down here. Here. Okay, so let's finish. Let's just finish this part here. So highlight, just trying to go around the highlight. That's what I'm doing. Short strokes. And smaller detail, I'm turning my pencil just to get sharper edge. This little cylinder here. This little knob. So I'm gonna save the highlight, because if you don't save that highlight, then you won't see that edge there. Has some details right here. Again, so I just see these little things. I'm just gonna pop it in. Okay, so very a little messy, but again, if you get the shadings correct, it still looks good. It doesn't matter if it's messy. And actually, I kind of like it when it's a little bit messy. It's a little bit more expressive, artistic. Again, we're not trying to match it exactly. We're trying to create a drawing here. Okay, so let's do this little knob in here. This part here is darker. I'm going to skip some of the details here. So I'm going to draw this center part here, make it darker, and then let's see if I can just go around. So I'm going to leave that little highlight. So it looks like there's going to be an edge. I hope I can do it. I mean, you can do it too, it's not a big deal. Okay, so now let's draw in the back, and I know that the camera turned off again, so I probably missed some of this stuff on the recording, but it's okay. I mean, it's more the same thing here. It's not a big deal. So let's come down here and we just kind of wrap this up. So this is more of the same here. So this part is going to be dark, this edge down here. And these are smaller details. I mean, this one is, I'm gonna try to keep those highlights. And this is very tricky because it's smaller. Let's see if I can do it like this. Highlight on the edge. So if I look at this and this, these two should be similar, but mine's a little bit too dark. So I know something is wrong here. So let me line this up slightly. Because the dark part here should be underneath here. This part's darker. This goes around. Darker here on the edge, on the back. Same thing here. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Let's see this part. Okay, let's just get this one shade first. Dark here, but there's also, you know, this thing's rounded right here where it connects. So that's why it's catching the highlight there. So I'm gonna try to keep that highlight there if I can. So let's just concentrate on this part first. I know there's some details right here. Pencil's getting pretty dull right now. Again, it's trying to ignore the details. These small details is sometimes difficult. Okay, so maybe that's okay too. Make this a little bit darker. And now for the bottom portion, okay, let's try it this way. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna try to correct for the shape as I'm doing this, as I'm shading. So this is kind of a challenge for me because, you know, normally if you draw in all the guidelines and stuff, then you know exactly where to shade, right? But I'm not doing that. I'm just using these rough outlines. I know it's wrong, so I'm trying to correct it as I'm sketching. But I kind of like this look in a way. I really like this way of drawing because in the end, it actually looks like a drawing. You know, something that's a little bit more expressive and something that is not, you know, just trying to have an exact replica of what it is that you're drawing. And to me, that's the fun part. You know, turning a fire hydrant into a piece of art as opposed to a picture of a fire hydrant. Okay, so more details down here. There's a lot of little things, some bounce light here. But let's just cap this off. Highlight here. The little nuts. Thinking about as to where then I'll put them. Yeah, I think I'll put them or else it looks kind of bland. So let's say these little nuts here. Let's see, bam, bam, really dark here. Here, here, and here. Here. Again, I'm just trying to concentrate on the darkest part, which is the side and the base. that, and then that. Okay, so now that I have that, and come in here, just dab. That should give me the tops. Okay, so yeah, it works, right? It's just very simple, just basically 2 shades, bam, 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 and then line the top. Now if I wanted to, we can come in here and just kind of clean this up a little bit. Darker back here as opposed to this side. Darker here. Okay, so I think, yeah, actually, so I like the way this looks. This looks like a drawing. This part here looks a little dead. You know, just a lot of long cross hatch lines or, you know, sketchy lines. So I like the way this feels as opposed to this part. And, you know, that's just my personal preference. You know, you might like something cleaner. Okay, so at this point, it's pretty much done. You know, the next stage would be, you know, I'll come in here and adding more stuff. But I think the overall shading's okay. Yeah, I probably won't add any more things to it off camera because it is just a fire hydrant. Not that exciting, but it's actually kind of fun. You know, you get to work with these geometric shapes. So now I'm just kind of going around and seeing little things here. I can actually put in the nuts up here just for fun. Although I just have to take out some stuff. It doesn't have to be exact, it's whatever is very loose. So I'm coming in here just to give it an overall balance of everything. You know, make it consistent coming down here, this whole dark area. This part here is slightly lighter. This part slightly darker down here. So here, the highlight is right around here. Bounce slightly down here, right here. So this bounce sliding all the way down here as well. I mean, smaller, you know, less obvious, I guess. But if you just kind of go, I'm just going around and, you know, correcting or just making it a little bit more accurate in terms of the shading. Chain, actually I can draw this chain because it's out here. If I were to draw this, then I gotta erase out stuff. I don't know, maybe I can do that too. Let's just see. I'm just having fun here, guys, so hope you are too. You know, there's nothing I want to, you know, this drawing doesn't have to be anything. I'm just having fun with it. Whatever it ends up with, hopefully, you know, hopefully it's nice. If not, it's okay too. So for these smaller details, now I'm going in and just see where the darkest part is, and I'll just punch that in, and that should really help to sell these shapes. Okay, and then here, yeah, it's a little bit too much, so I'm not gonna do it. Okay, so I'll skip that. All right, so that's about it. I don't want to, you know, beat this thing to death, even though I see all this stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, have fun shading, you know, try these smaller strokes, see how it goes. You know, don't worry if it's not clean. It's actually kind of fun. So the main thing is being able to recognize the values, and you know, the more you're able to do that at the beginning and you know, get it correct on the first pass, the more you can, you know, shade this way as opposed to this way. And I'm liking this way a little bit more, just a little bit more fun. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy this, and please let me know any other stuff you guys want me to draw, something that you find confusing or you have questions about. Just comment below, and you know, I'll try to help you out if I can. All right, so thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.